What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some basketball games for Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own picks. I wish you guys the best luck on all your picks for this day, for these games. Let's go ahead and get into the games. We're going to be looking at... I didn't even share screen. Hold on. There we go. We're going to be looking at all four NBA games for the day. Raptors versus Wizards, Sixers versus Mavericks, Pacers versus the Spurs, Clippers versus Warriors. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers, numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I have the road team up top, their coach's record, season record, road record, any other notes I want to add like winning streaks, or if they're played yesterday or playing or on a back-to-back. In the middle is the all-time head-to-head between the two teams, as well as for the regular season, as well as for this season in particular. And then at the bottom is the home team, their home record, their season record, their coach's record, and any other notes that I want to add. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. We're going to start with the Raptors and the Wizards, if I can talk correctly. The Raptors and the Wizards. I always start with the home team first, and then I'll go over the road team. Starting with the home team, the Wizards. What can allow them to win this game today? It will be a day with 48 date numerology on the Gregorian. March 2nd, written 3/2, a day with 48 date numerology. 48 written out sums to 137, the 33rd prime number. The Raptors, they can get their 33rd loss for this season, as Wizards sit on 32 losses with a win. 3-2 for March 2nd, 48 date numerology on the Gregorian. 48 sums to 137, the 33rd prime. It will be a day with 155 date numerology on the Hebrew civil side of the calendar. Raptors coach, he can get his 155th loss regular season for his career. The Wizards, they would get their 30th win for the season, as they sit on 32 losses on March 2nd, 3/2. They would get their 30th win for the season in their 62nd game of the season. If you write out the number 30, it sums to 62. If you write out the number 40, it sums to 30. And the Wizards would get their 40th regular season head-to-head win against the Raptors, as they get their 30th win for the season in their 62nd game of the season. 30 sums to 62. 40 sums to 30. They can get their 40th regular season head-to-head as they get their 30th win. And if we want to connect the 40 to the Gregorian, with it being the 61st day of the Gregorian year, we can also write out 61 sums to 40. 61st day of the Gregorian. 61 sums to 40. Could be another reason why Wizards get that 40th regular season head-to-head win. 40 sums to 30. They get the 30th win for the season. And I think that's kind of it, or at least that's what I found right off the bat. Let's go ahead and switch over to, one last thing. Hebrew calendar, 20 days left in the Hebrew religious side of the year. Could be a reason why Raptors get their 20th road loss. You can add that as well. But so let's go ahead and switch over to... Actually, there's one more here thing that I did miss. Another one. Sorry about this. 31st away game for the Raptors. They can sit on 31 wins for the season with the loss, as their coach sits on 217. Actually, no, that doesn't work. 27. Oh, wait, let me see. Yeah, 127 is the 31st prime. Okay, so it does work. I was confused there for a second. Anyway, 217 is an anagram of 127. 127, the 31st prime number. Raptors coach can sit on 217 with the win in their 31st road game as they sit on 31 wins for the season. Okay, that would wrap up the Wizards side. Let's go ahead and look at the Raptors side. What would allow the Raptors to win this game? It is the Raptors' 64th game for the season. They can get their 64th all-time head-to-head win against the Wizards, as the Wizards Wizards coach sits on 64 wins regular season for his career with a loss. Wizards would get their 33rd loss for the season instead of Raptors getting their 33rd loss. 48 date numerology on the Gregorian sums to 137, the 33rd prime number. If you write out the number 33, 33 sums to 60. Raptors can get their 33rd loss for the season as they get their 60th regular season head-to-head loss against the Raptors. And today is March 2nd, written 3/2 like 32. Raptors can become 32-32 for a season record with the win. It's also the 158th day of the Hebrew civil side of the calendar. And if you write out 32, it sums to 158. So I think that might. Oh, and one last thing here. I keep on with the one last things. I just keep seeing things as I go. 109th all-time head-to-head matchup between these two teams. 109 is the 29th prime number. Wizards can sit on 29 wins for the season with a loss. 29 is the 10th prime number, and Raptors can become 1-0 like 10 head-to-head against the Wizards for the season to go with. 12 date numerology on the Gregorian. Raptors can get their 12th win for this 12th road win for the season. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. Let's go on to the next game. Sixers versus the Mavericks. Hopefully I can get through this one without stumbling as much as the last one. So starting with the home team, if the home team was going to win this game, it is the Mavericks' 33rd home game of the season. They can get their 33rd win for the season. It is a day with 48 date numerology on the Gregorian. 48 written out sums to 137, the 33rd prime number. The Mavericks, they would sit on 40 all-time head-to-head losses against the Sixers, as the Sixers sit on 40 wins for the season. We can actually mark these in a gray color for the Gregorian. Sixers sit on 40 wins with the loss. Mavericks sit on 40 all-time head-to-head losses with the win. It is the 61st day of the Gregorian. 61 written out sums to 40. It will be a day with 12 date numerology on the Gregorian. Mavericks can sit on 12 home losses with the win, as the Sixers get their 12th road loss for the season. It will be a day with 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. This will be the 28th the 28th road game. 28 date numerology, 28th road game. Written out the number 28 sums to 57. Sixers coach can get his 757th loss regular season. Kind of has a 57 look to it at the end, the 5775. I don't know, it might be a bit of a stretch, but that's there if you want to use that. And then the Mavericks coach, he would sit on 61 losses regular season as a coach specifically for the Mavericks with a win on the 61st day of the Gregorian. So that's what I would kind of put for the Mavericks. For the Sixers, if they were going to win this game, they can get their 41st win for the season as they become 41-41 all-time head-to-head against the Mavericks on the 61st day of the Gregorian. If you read out 61, it sums to 41. It will be a day with 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. 28 written out sums to 141. In the Sixers' 28th road game, their coach can get his 141st win regular season as a coach for the Sixers. It will be March 2nd, written 3/2, like 32. If you write out the number 32, it sums to 158. It will be the 158th day of the Hebrew civil side of the calendar. The Mavericks could become 32-32 for a season record with a loss. And so that's about what I would put for both sides of that game. Let's go on to the next one here, Pacers versus the Spurs.
Sorry to interrupt this video, you guys, but I need a huge favor from you. Can you go ahead and like this video and leave a comment below on who you think's going to win? It's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help grow my channel. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and get back into the video.
Starting with the home team. The home team was going to win this game. We have 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. If you write out the number 28, it sums to 57. The Spurs can get their 57th all-time head-to-head win against the Pacers, as Pacers sit on 28 wins for the season with a loss. With the Spurs getting their 16th win for the season, I didn't see any direct connection. Well, actually, no, I do. Never mind, I take that back. So the Spurs can get their 16th win for the season on the 9th day of the 6th month for the Hebrew civil calendar, like 96. And 16, if you write it out, does sum to 96, the 9th day of the 6th month for the Hebrew civil. Spurs can get their 16th win for the season on the 9th day of the 6th month. Let's plug in 10/21. 72. I know the number 27 sums to 172, but I'm not seeing 172 or a 27 connection here in this game. I suppose you can say Spurs can sit on 47 losses with the win on a day with 48 date numerology, since the number 48 sums to 47. But the Spurs, which we'll talk about, could just as easily get their 48th loss. The Spurs have beat the Pacers already for the season, so this is our last head-to-head match. With the 20, we can go along with it having 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. The number 20 sums to 107, the 28th prime number. It also sums to 28. And so that can go along with Pacers sitting on 28 wins for the season with a loss. Spurs getting their 57th all-time head-to-head win. 28 date numerology, 28 sums to 57. And then Spurs can go 2-0, like 20 head-to-head against the Pacers for this season with a sweep. 20 sums to 28 as well. If we go ahead and switch gears to the Pacers, if the Pacers are going to win this game, like I briefly mentioned, Spurs can just go ahead and get their 48th loss for the season on a day with 48 date numerology for the Gregorian. It's their 31st home game. Pacers' 31st away game. 31 mathematically is the 11th prime number. Pacers can get their revenge 1-1 head-to-head against the Spurs for the season, like an 11, as they get their 11th road win to go with. I didn't see anything really for the 44th all-time head-to-head win. Nothing jumped out at me on that one. Spurs becoming 922 at home. 922 is just an anagram of 229, which is the 50th prime number, but I didn't see any 50s on the board either, so I'm not too sure about that one as of right now. 1671. 781. So I'm trying to think what would work for the Pacers getting their 29th win. I guess, if they got their 29th win, they would sit on 35 losses. I don't know if that matters. 29, though, if you write it out, does sum to 149, the 35th prime number. So I don't know if it's supposed to line up for them like that. 29, 35. 29 sums to 149, the 35th prime. Let's do 13, 5, 9. The other one, 7, 4, 9. I don't know. That's about what I see for either side for this game. Not a whole lot. Just a few things here and there. But let's keep it moving. Don't want to waste too much time. Video's getting close to 20 minutes. Clippers versus the Warriors. Last game up on the board. Starting with the home team. Warriors, they can just get their 33rd win for the season in their 33rd home game as they get their 137th regular season head-to-head win against the Clippers. 137, the 33rd prime number, while the Clippers sit on 33rd wins for the season with a loss. Today does have 48 date numerology on the Gregorian. 48 written out does sum to 137, the 33rd prime number. Clippers, they would get their 32nd loss for the season on March 2nd, written 3/2, a day, the 158th day of the Hebrew civil year. If you write out 32, it sums to 158. It will be a day with 12 date numerology on the Gregorian. The Warriors, they can get their 144th all-time head-to-head win against the Clippers. 144 mathematically has a square root of 12, as well as being the 12th Fibonacci number. And then it'd be the 61st day of the Gregorian. 61, the 18th prime number. Clippers would sit on 18 road wins with a loss. And I think that might be it for the Warriors side, as I'm seeing right now. Let's look at the Clippers side. What would it look like for the Clippers to win? Well, it is the 231st regular season head-to-head matchup between these two teams. Warriors coach, he can get his 231st regular season loss for his career. Clippers coach, he would get his 123rd regular season win as a coach for the Clippers to go with. And 123 and 231, they're just anagrams of each other. 231, 231, 123, they're just anagrams. Clippers coach, he would become 123.96 for a regular season record as a coach for the Clippers specifically. And it would be on the 9th day of the 6th month for the Hebrew civil, like 96. What else? Clippers coach, he can sit on 179 losses at regular season overall for his career. 179 is the 41st prime number. It will be the 61st day of the Gregorian year. 61 equals 41. And Clippers would get their 19th road win to go with. 19 also sums to 41. 41 sums to 35. And it'll be their 35th road game for the season. And then Clippers, they can go ahead and get their 34th win for the season. If you write out the number 34, it sums to 61, it being the 61st day of the Gregorian. 61st day of the Gregorian. A day that leaves 304 left, which kind of looks like a 34. But, I guess that's what I would put for now. I kind of stumbled through that a bit. Forgive me. I may have bored it up. It's kind of boring. I was stumbling through it. I'm a little testy right now. Forgive me. But hopefully this helps in some way, in any way. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it gives you an idea of what's going on in these 4 games, both sides. Get you started on a decode, add to a decode that you already have. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys win all the money in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video.